are live. Hey, y'all, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen in this video, but that's all right. Joining me today is my guest, my BFF, Mrs. Best, aka my girl Amina.
Hello, I'm back.
You back, we back. So we are here for MTV's Couple Retreat, Season 3, Episode 7 review. It was quite some things revealed in this episode. At least it was more focused on Apollo. So
Yeah,
it was weird. It was like I felt like we had this episode already, but hey, we'll get through it with the best. So let's go ahead and get started. So the episode opens up where it left off with Tony asking Shireen the question that if this, do you think you could still be with him if this behavior continues? And she said no. So as the episode progressed, Apollo then says, no, Tony asks Apollo, well, how do you feel hearing that? And Apollo goes, oh, she's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah, we kind of can figure that. And Tony goes in his confessional says, oh, that's not what Apollo meant, which pissed me off about Tony. So we're gonna talk about that in just a second here, because that kind of made me look at Tony sideways a little bit. Because I think that's exactly what Apollo meant. So I'm gonna ask you, Amina, do you think that that's what Apollo really meant?
absolutely. He's not. He may be a lot of things, but he's never been proven to be like a liar outside of the whole defrauding the government thing. So
Right.
I think he has spoken, and she should listen. But maybe her brain is wandering like her eyeball.
Yeah, because she was looking at Tony like, yeah, this is no, this is what he meant. This is
This
what
is
he's
what he
saying. Yeah,
means.
yeah.
His
And
actions
like,
speak louder than words, and his actions match with that anyway.
so, do you think in the argument, because someone made a point, I think it was Breezy, because this just sounds correct. Do you think that Apollo really does not listen to her when it comes to arguments and things that she complains about?
I don't think he cares. I think in Apollo's mind, he's like, look at me. I'm
Mhm.
Apollo from TV. And no shade, but I kind of feel like after dating somebody like Phaedra, it's kind of hard to live up to that just in terms of
I
respect.
was just having this conversation because
Yeah,
someone
I
actually just
feel
told me that exact same thing.
that's like he didn't want the divorce. Let's remember that. It wasn't
Right.
because of cheating and other things. So he kind of just went through that situation because she's like, I'm not holding you down. I'm holding down the kids. So I think that that shows and translates in his next relationship. I always say rebounds never work. And she is the first person that he's dated since his divorce. Um,
Now, I could have sworn in hindsight that they were dating in between the divorce, the separation and the divorce. I could be wrong. I have to go back to my Real Housewives of Atlanta. I could be wrong, but
well,
I could have
flip me running.
sworn.
If that's the case, then that's even shadier. It's even more not meant to be. It's just Apollo and Shireen, I think it is what it is. I think that it's going to take a lot for him to have respect for women in general. But
Dropping
I
my phone.
think that brain, beauty, and ability to multitask is very, very, very important to
Hmm.
Apollo. And nothing's wrong with that. But when you compare Shireen to the types of women that he's dated or discussed dating on previous shows, she doesn't match it. And whenever somebody goes crawling to the prison system to write and be in a relationship with someone in prison who they don't know, like if someone you know goes to jail, fine, hold them down. But if you don't know a person and you're interested in dating, as a single woman, I don't care how hard I'm not. Let me go look in the. Let me go see if I can find a pen pal that could become my husband. Like, and then that's my beef with Shireen. What did you expect? You went looking for a man in the prison, and now you're on couples retreat.
I just feel like, yeah, I just feel like I don't understand one, and we'll get dive deeper into Apollo because I tell you, this whole episode was focused on Apollo. I didn't see not one or two things on anybody else. It was just focused on Apollo. So moving on, the other couple that went up against, um, you know, the reverse psychology argument thing were Fallon and Jalen, and their issues were more so Fallon wants sex all the time, and take it off mute.
I was just saying all the time.
Like, yeah.
Every episode she's talked
covered
about sex.
Yeah, we covered it. She's a woman that's in, approaching that mid-30s. Women start hitting a sexual peak at that time. So, and overall, and I think that now that I think about it, I think that's why she got a younger guy. I really do. She wanted that. It's that maintenance. I'm telling you, that's what that is. So yeah, it's just and Fallon, and then Jalen, when he was making, because it was reversed, so he was acting as her, she was acting as him. She was saying that he makes 101 excuses of not to have it, and Fallon will just go up and just start playing and doing foreplay. So it was like, I feel like they have a deeper issue than that. I just feel like they just want to showcase something small, because then it would make Fallon look like she's still deep in that depression with that husband, with Simon and Portia and stuff. So I think that that's why they did that.
I mean, Fallon is obviously not over it. She said it, Jalen said it. This is why this relationship didn't work. It was bad timing. Again, another situation, dating right after you get out of a relationship and
Where
marriage.
you weren't even out of, like, let's kind of put that out there. She wasn't even out of that marriage,
No.
technically, when they were together, because she had gotten pregnant right before the ink dried on the divorce finalization. So, I'm just saying, yeah. So, moving on from them, we have Jock and Kendra, which were the final couple, and they chose to bring up this nail on the head, like so dry, as revealing that he has a baby coming with another woman. But I will give Kendra this. At least this time, she was able to laugh this off, and and not be so how we know she can be, which is rambunctious and annoying. So, yeah, how did you feel about Kendra's response to the whole situation? Do you think she's at that point over it, or do you think she was just kind of like laughing at him and making fun of her?
I don't think that she will ever get over it. That type of betrayal, you don't get over. And then the child is a reminder of his what he did. So I don't feel like she will get over it. She just has to learn how to live with it. Personally, I was disgusted watching that activity. They again are not the people who are trained to deal with that type of activity. And the topics they chose for the couples to reenact were topics that they claim to have been trying to get over and teach these people to move on from, just for you to bring it backward to make a point about how you have to ignore basically chit chatter and be secure in yourself in your relationship. There was 1,000 different ways they could have got that point across. So I was irritated because I was like,
Yeah.
hey, why would y'all ask her that? You're just showing that this is more so about ratings than you playing with people's emotions. I just think that's something that they should take seriously. But
I agree. I
I
feel
guess
like that was one of those situations where it was like, one, y'all taking an activity that was from couples therapy. Let's keep this real. And then using it here and then not having the proper license to facilitate that Kendra was hiding an emotion. Jalen and Fallon were trying to downplay an argument. And then you had Apollo and Shireen having the biggest control issues, but still not, in hindsight, handling it the best way they should. So I don't know. I'm kind of over this show, this episode. Like, I know we got, I think, two more episodes left of this show before they get to the finale. I'm just over this.
3.
Three.
I know. Hang in there. Hang in there,
The show is
champ.
so ridiculous. Like, these couples are ridiculous. Okay, so moving on from this, because once again, the show was centered around Apollo. So I guess we could talk about his conversation with AJ. I know you're not gonna like this conversation, but hey, because there's some points I did agree with AJ on. I feel like, do you feel like one, he should explain? And I think I asked this last video. Do you really think he should explain his prison experience to Shireen in a way that would make her be a little bit more patient with him?
No. Why are you laughing at me already?
Because I don't know. See, because to me, I feel like that is the core of their issue. He's not really telling her.
I feel like he's not telling her because he doesn't respect her enough to
Okay.
tell her.
Okay.
Some people, like, I have to really respect you as a person to tell you my business.
Right.
Like, that's just how I am. I feel like Apollo might be the same way. Also, it's something I feel he's embarrassed about. And as AJ stated, we have to acknowledge that people who've been to prison experience trauma, which is a real thing. My dad was in and out of prison and definitely has experienced things and is just now opening up to therapy. It's changed him for the better. So I think Apollo needs to open up about his experience in prison in therapy or with a life coach or somebody trained. I don't think
Okay. I
Shireen
think
is
he
the
needs to
person
go beyond
because
life coach. I think he needs like a psychologist. And the reason why I say that is because he has went to prison for the second time for the exact same thing.
when he didn't have
So
to
when he
be in
didn't
medical
have to,
school.
and that's the thing. I feel like there is something within him that is lacking as
Mhm,
far as accountability wise and as far
mhm.
as logical wise. I think that when it comes to where he was and where he's at, I think that there's no reason why you couldn't explain, and maybe that might help you be more open to therapy and trying to understand why you went to prison for the exact same thing, and why do you feel that you need to prove substantial income to viewers that could really care less about you.
I think it has to do with like embarrassment and the fact that his ex is someone who obviously has substantial income. But separate from that, I don't think she's the right person for him to talk to because how is he going to feel safe talking to her about these deep experiences in prison where she's telling him that if he doesn't make immediate change that she's going to leave? Why am I going to leave my secrets with somebody who's threatening to leave me? So even though the reason she's at that point is partially his fault, I just don't think she's the right person to tell. He should tell the wife that's gonna last, the next
He
one,
should tell the wife that is going to last.
the next
No,
one.
you did not just say
I
that.
did. Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's the way I live my life. The next wife,
The one that actually, the
the
next
one
wife
that
actually
will
counts.
stay.
This one don't count.
Here's the thing: how do
Girl,
you
I
go
can't with
looking
you.
for somebody in jail, knowing the shit that happens in jail? Because apparently it's not her first time doing it. I might look some shit up, and she's got a history of doing this for one. So it's like, do you
Mhm.
understand how it goes? You don't have to be in jail to understand it changes people. It's hard, it's scary. So
Absolutely.
how can you go looking for somebody who's living in that environment, but then not put them in a space to feel safe enough to talk to you about that experience? Like I
Well,
just
and then he also mentioned in the conversation that he was in solitary confinement and also explained what his experience is like with that. And I'm trying to figure out what did AJ call bullshit on? Because she said something that was like so out there that was like, how can you tell somebody what their experience in solitary confinement was when you've never been in it?
she said to him, she was like, and you don't feel like that changed you? He was like, no, I don't. And she said she called bullshit on that. Uh
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
was because I when I heard her say because I'm telling you I don't pay attention to Apollo. I don't feel like hearing all this. So that's what she said. Well, that was bullshit. Do you
It
think that is
it
bullshit?
It is, and that's why he went forward to talk about. I don't think he understands what she meant by changes you. I think in his mind he's thinking
And
like,
that's what that's
yeah,
okay, see, and that's what I was
just
pointing out because that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, see, the problem is that I think he went into prison the second time being a lot tougher, and this because he's already on the expectation of this. And I think that being in that experience, I feel like did not change him.
no.
I don't feel like in
I
that
don't think that jail changed him because he's been there, done that. But what he
exactly.
said right after about his children, me and my husband were watching, I was like, he cares. It seems like
Yeah, and I was gonna
it
talk about that
has
next. We can go into that actually
it
because I was
has
gonna talk about
definitely changed him.
it.
He
Hmm.
just didn't understand her context. And honestly, I get the feeling that Apollo knows the show and the people working there who are meant to be the professionals to help them are on some bullshit. And so I feel like he may be pulling back for that reason. We could feel how we want to feel about him, but the man is not stupid.
No,
And
he's not. And I feel like after hearing the conversation he had with Jock and Kendra, and Shireen in the gym, I kind of felt we can go to that since we're on Apollo this entire episode. Um, the conversation of him approaching his son, with the situation and seeing what he exposed, it was kind of like, I don't want to say Phaedra had, like, because allegedly, I'm not gonna say Phaedra did something, but it's like it sounded like his mind was tainted of Apollo, him experiencing his father, and now him experiencing the newly released Apollo. Do you feel like there was something tainted in his mind by his mama?
No.
Okay, because I thought so at first. I was like, okay, Phaedra, what are you telling these kids for them not to remember? Because a lot of times when kids, their reaction to seeing the parent that they have not seen in a long time is they're excited, they're happy, and
No.
but
That's
really,
no, that's I actually had to do a paper on that with psych. It's like only 15% of children will feel that way because it's based on where they're at in development, age, and stuff. We have to remember
okay,
with Apollo, when he went down, Dylan was 1. He was 1. This actually happened with my younger brother, Jelani, who I love. Shout out to Jelani. When he was 1, my dad went to prison and was
okay,
gone until I was literally almost done with high school. So
hmm,
I think that you have to understand. So all of our siblings, we know my dad, we remember him, but my youngest brother, when he reunited with, no idea who he was. Couldn't
mm,
call him out in a bunch of people because you're not going to know what someone truly looks like just from photos. He didn't
hmm,
remember. He did not remember. He did not remember. So I think that what Apollo was describing, the same thing happened with Dylan. Bless his heart. But it sounds like in what he said, and I thought that was beautiful. I accepted it. I didn't attack my child for telling me they're not close to me and for not embracing me. I
yeah,
showed up at every game. I showed up at every practice. I picked him up from school. I do, he don't be arguing and causing shit with Phaedra online. So I
he
thought that was
doesn't,
commendable.
he
Commendable. And it
doesn't,
also made
yeah,
me dig a little deeper. And my husband helped me realize this because we were like, Shireen's making it seem like I made this big sacrifice for you. And again, I go back to it and it's like, this man's trying to make up for lost time with his child, something you did not lose. And you have chosen to put your child in a situation where you may have to move. I'm thinking it's the, halfway house and stuff, but it sounds like he wanted to move back to Atlanta and a different city so that he could be closer to his kids. So it's very eye-opening. I think that him and Shireen hearing all these things with feelings and stuff are at a point where I'm telling you, he gonna have a third wife. Y'all think I'm being an asshole, but
I look, we're here to give our honest opinions, and so if that's how she feels, that I don't know. I don't see it lasting either. I'm gonna
no.
be honest with you. I don't see this lasting either. I feel like those two, because the foundation of it was some bullshit. So if the foundation was some bullshit, you can't expect it to just fluster into this beautiful sunshine and rainbows. It does. It never happens that way. So yeah, no, I definitely agree. But it's just like I don't see Apollo getting married again after Shrek. I don't either. I don't
He'll
see.
have someone though. He
Oh
seems
yeah,
like
he'll have
he
somebody, but it ain't gonna. He's not gonna get married. I don't think. I think that was just to shut her up, personally. So moving on. There was a little snippet of Jock and Kendra. She had made the comment that she does have a child. The child gonna be with her at the lawyer's office and all what she said. And Jock was happy because that was the first time she has really gone into detail about wanting kids. So I was looking at that scene like, Jock, first of all, you don't need to have another child. Let's be real. And second, Kendra, why would you want to have a child? I get that it's your husband, but you know how this operates.
I think there need to be laws. Okay, you know where I'm going.
Yes, I do. That's why I'm
There
laughing.
needs to be. I understand people having multiple baby mamas, baby daddies, children's fathers, whatever the hell, but 10 kids with more than 5 different women,
Yeah.
bro, you need to be castrated or something. Drain the nut, because I don't understand why he
It's,
would
and,
even.
and then that's
It,
another thing. I don't want to have to see if I'm in Kendra's mind. I don't want to have to deal with the last ones, not the last one, the one before the last one, the one that was on Love and Hip Hop. You know,
Cena.
yeah, her. I don't want to have to deal with her. Like she would drive me nuts because she looked like the type that is always in the business, always trying to figure out something. Yeah, I couldn't do it. So yeah, so Kendra, you actually need to save and spare yourself just in case this marriage don't work because you don't want to be tied to the mother of heifers. So
Then you are the 10th baby mama, and that is
right,
nothing to be proud of. And we don't care if your baby is the greatest baby and you love your child and he's so good. No, he's
exactly.
the 10th child. Like, it's at this point a joke. Young Jock, Nick Cannon, like, they behave like horny 15-year-olds.
And it's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. I'd be looking at
But
them like,
I
wow.
call bullshit. I think Kendra, I've always thought Kendra wanted kids. I just
Oh
think that
yeah,
it's
she definitely does.
embarrassing. I would be embarrassed to be like, yeah, this is my fiance. Yeah, he's got kids. How many? 9. So I get that. And it's okay to admit and say the way that you get it in
Because
is
she's
embarrassing.
giving me Peter Guns and Amina from Love and Hip Hop New York.
I hate it when she was on TV because dudes was assuming that I would just cheat on my husband. Women was like, I gotta watch you. I was working in sales at the time, so it was.
Wait, you actually got attacked
I had
for
women get at me when trying to sell cars. True story. True story.
no.
Be
Just
upset.
because your name was Amina, they
Yes,
automatically
girl, you stressing
assumed,
me out. You stressing me out. People I don't know. Like, hi.
oh, y'all ought
Welcome
to
to
be
so
ashamed
and
of
so. I can't
yourself.
say the place I used
No.
to work today, but like, welcome. Can I help you with anything? Girl, tell me this ain't your business card. I'm tired. Where Peter? Like, please. Like, it was
Y'all are
awful.
wrong.
It
Oh
was
my
awful.
God. Dang, friend. I'm
I'm the
sorry. I did
smart
not know you was
Anita.
going for that. Yeah, because I know you wasn't finna do no shit like that. So yeah, absolutely.
No. But it does
Even
it does remind me of that. That's a
yeah,
good.
it does. It definitely does. That's what she was giving me. She's the wife. She doesn't have the kids yet. So yeah, 2 kids is coming. Watch it. Watch. So what else happened in this damn episode? Oh, Tony Rock appears. Ugh, he wasn't even funny. I don't even want to go through them jokes because he wasn't even funny.
We don't need
What
to
a,
go through the jokes. We
it
definitely
was
do not need
stupid.
to
And
go
then
through.
Ronnie DeVoe returns back, filming like he was supposed to.
I would have stayed gone if I was him.
Right? Yeah, this was crazy. What am I missing? Because I'm doing this from my
This
mind.
episode was one of the driest episodes on
It
reality
was.
television of any show that I've watched in.
It was a dry episode. I remember while I was watching, I'm like, I didn't take no notes. This is all from memory
I
because it
have,
was,
you can't really see because of the blur, but
yeah.
it's 3
You got
notes,
one, you got one line.
3 little lines. That's it.
Well, if that's it, then
Oh, the only thing, Fallon became upset at Tony's joke, but I don't think that's
that
worth
wasn't,
talking
yeah, that wasn't worth
about.
talking. That's why I said, like, she's stupid for getting mad at that.
Yeah,
That was
they're
stupid.
not
I'm not even
together,
gonna,
so
yeah, I'm not
it
even
doesn't
gonna
matter.
even give that any shine because that was stupid. Tony Rock was needed a check, obviously, because I mean, what else do you? Why would you even come on the show?
Yeah.
That was stupid. So, anyways, that's I'm gonna end it on that because this episode was dry.
And
It
then
was
we get to
nothing.
30
They focused.
minutes.
Yeah, well, because it was what about to talk about? The whole episode was about Apollo. The whole
Maybe they
episode.
need to Bravo TV. And I'm sure Phaedra would be okay with this because she wants her child's father to win. Maybe Bravo needs to do a show for like Apollo or something because showing him readjusting change because it does seem like he's changed in a positive way, but he's definitely on the wrong show. If we can have a whole episode dedicated to you, then maybe go discuss your experience
Somewhere else.
somewhere.
I
Yeah.
absolutely agree. Well,
Yeah.
that was it, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. So, her Mrs. Best's channel is in my description box. You guys click the link, subscribe, show her love and support. She is building that channel up. And we will be on her channel in just a few minutes to talk about the infamous Love and Hip Hop Atlanta premiere. Thank you guys for coming to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe once again. I'll see you guys in the next live. Peace out.
Bye-bye.